Hey YouTube, how's everything going today? Just checking in, doing a follow-up on my prints here. Got done printing some clips, came out perfect. Of course, you know, they're small. Some of the older prints. I got that artifacts. I got more artifact on both of my benches. I got the smoothers, the drivers for them, and it just didn't seem to do anything different. It didn't change, didn't update or make the print quality any better. So I took them off, reset everything, and I printed out my Superman here in green just because I figured it would look good. And it came out really smooth, good clean print, nice quality. Everything printed out really clear, clean, smooth. Tried vase mode here. It didn't come out as smooth as I would like. I'm going to reprint it and try it again, see if I can't get it smooth and clean. I had to do a few more tweaks on it. My printer set up a little bit better and get it cleaned out. I haven't had any problem. I've heard of a lot of people having problems with their extruder being clogged and that, and mine's been perfect. I haven't had one issue with any of that. Tried to do a little Tinkerbell here. The wings printed out perfect. I tried to do her in pink for my wife, just to give her something. It didn't work out too well. It initially failed the first couple of times when I tried to print out to the head and get the head printed, but the body and everything printed out really nice. It came out really good. All the layers are nice and smooth, nice and clean. I hadn't had a problem with too much of anything, but I still got this seam in the back here, and that only happens when I use Simplify 3D and Nearest profile on it. I did have one issue. The supports didn't take on the neck. I don't know if you can see it right there. And her chin came out kind of funky. So looks like she got hit in the face. Focus. But other than that, it's a good quality print. And then, since both of our mothers are breast cancer survivors, I printed this out for my wife, a nice ribbon cell phone holder. And as you can see, this came out almost flawless. Good clean layers, nice smooth quality print. I don't see any salmon skin on it. It might be there just a hair, but I don't see it. So I mean, it's a beautiful smooth print. And this was before I put the smoothers on it and got all that up and running. This is just one of those prints that came out almost flawless right out the gate. I never did do the printed dog, or there is a squirrel chest set that was on my micro SD card. I think I'm going to print that out. Just, you know, it's a squirrel chest set. I want to get a look at it and see how it comes out. But that print came out perfect. Then I did do a fidget spinner for, fidget spinner's sake. You know, you got to have a fidget spinner. And I got dimpling on it again here. I don't know where that came from or what happened there, but other than that, all the layers are smooth. Everything looks beautiful. The top layers, let's see if I can't get a good zoom in on that there. The top layer and the bottom layer came out flawless. It's just that for some reason when it's doing the going around and doing the perimeters and stuff, it kind of gets a little bit of a zit or a dimpling effect. You know, it is cheap filament. It's not the best. I did get it at Fry's for right around about $14. It's the cheapest filament they had, so I figured I'd give it a shot. And right now I'm printing my son a pop socket phone holder. It seems to be coming out okay. I did do supports at angles of about 50 degrees just because I wanted to be safe that it wouldn't mess up too much. And then one of the other things I did print on after putting the smoothers on, taking the smoothers off, and making all those adjustments and changes, I went back to one of the original setups I had just to make it work. I did take my bracket off here because I was having problems with it. It wasn't sitting or fitting right, and it was causing binding issues. I don't know what happened with it, but the holes were drilled off. The wheels weren't hitting right. I filed down the holes, tried to make it fit, and it just would not sit on there right. Everything's sitting square, nothing's twisted, nothing's off. Everything's working good. It's just that for some reason that right bracket or left bracket, depending on how you look at it, just did not sit or print right. or would allow it to print right. I am going to be redoing this here. I found another one that I want to try out a different style to actually sit here on the side. So I'm going to change out that, but this is a good print, good design, got it off the Thingiverse. Just trying to change things up, have it look a little different. One of the major upgrades that makes a big difference in the functionality of the printer, go online and order these yellow springs. I've only had to, just by fighting to get certain prints off that stick or just be stubborn, I've only had to just barely adjust any leveling at all. It stays level, holds solid, perfect. The last thing I took off was this drawer that I printed out last night, or tray. I put it in there, it sits nice, good print. Downloaded it from Thingiverse. It came with the G-code. I used the G-code that was in it. It said that it was going to take, in Kira, it said it was going to take like an hour to print, an hour and a half to print, which was BS. It took about 5.5 hours to print. I run all my prints, as you can see here, all my prints at 205 with bed temperature at 60. I start out at 220, my first layer, with the bed temp at 65, and it holds great, it works good. Of course, I always use a little bit of glue stick. One thing I did find out though, is when you're using your glue stick, and if you use just a little, Elmer's glue stick, everybody uses it, get the washable ones. All it takes to clean off your bed, seriously, it's just a damp cloth. Get it good and damp, bring it out really good so there's not a whole bunch of water. Once the water touches the glass, it starts to turn purple again and it wipes right off. I can get it cleaner, faster, and more efficient than I could using isopropyl alcohol. So it just, like I said, a damp rag, something like this, just good and damp, works perfectly. Get this, run it out of the faucet, wring it out really good, get it damp, and literally just wipe the top of it right off, and it pulls all that stuff off with no problem. There's not an issue with anything. Sorry if there's like flashing or problems going on. I keep pressing the button on my phone. It's the only camera I have right now, unfortunately. I'm new to the whole YouTube and thing. Just figured I'd get it out there. I do love the printer. I enjoy the way it prints. I'm going to be doing more prints, shoot some time lapse of some prints that I've made. I've already got one up. This is one of this vase here. It's not the best quality. I think the arm that I printed out to use for my camera kind of looks like it makes it start out blue, or a funkier color. Then as it goes up, as it starts to go up and move up, it looks a little bit better. But I might have to just try using a small little tripod that I have. Hopefully it'll hold focus and stuff while I do my prints. I am going to be getting some small LEDs or something to where I can actually get some light around the hot end here when using this Pet's Fang heating fan, which by the way has been awesome, even though it uses the factory fan, but it's been great. Everything's worked out really well. Things look good. I did my the mini printer test, and I'm not sure what's considered perfect with this, but taking a good look at it and how it looks, you can take a look here when it gets to the overhangs, if it just focus a little bit better. You can see right about 65 degrees is when it starts to kind of drop a little bit and kind of droop down just a little bit. Let me see if I can't get that to focus better. There it goes. Between 70 and up is where I really want to start focusing on using any supports on anything that I print. Everything else came out pretty good. Over here on the 75, the 45, 60, and 75, you can see at the 75 it starts to do the same thing. So right about 65 degrees is probably the maximum I can do on my overhang. The bridging test up to 10 millimeters, it looks like it came out great. I don't see too much of a problem with it. I see at 10 millimeters though, I did have a little bit of an issue where it might have stringed just a little bit, but you just pop that off and it'll still look almost perfect. But everything else, I mean, I have a hard time reading these. I think that's because I have ironing turned on in Kira, where it tries to smooth out each layer or each surface. Oh, don't mind the dog hair. So, but everything else looked like it came out really well. You know, I consider this a successful test. This looks better than some of the ones that I've actually seen printed out online. Then the first layer again is glass smooth, nice, even. So I got a good cure profile that I think works really well, and I like using it. If you go online, you can surf around and check them out. I'll try to get mine posted if you guys want to check it out, kind of tweak it and mess around with it. It is a 2mm profile that I do at 1.5mm. I just kind of keep everything the same. I printed about 50 between 50 and 55. I try to keep the speed at 50 because it makes it take longer, but you get great quality prints. And then this little thing's awesome. Prints out one solid piece. You know, once you get it off, you know, I didn't have to break anything free. It just worked right away. Came off the build plate nice and easy, but this came out perfect. I did not have one problem with any layers, any stringing, nothing. This is a perfect, beautiful, I mean, you can look at that, it's like glass. Smooth, clear print. So, like I said, I think I got the printer tuned in really well. I do want to do some time-lapse videos on some prints and stuff that I have. Hopefully get to where I can start doing more reviews on more printers. Unfortunately, you do what you can afford, and I can only afford this printer right now. But if there's anything, or if you want to see a time-lapse video of anything being printed from Thingiverse or anything else like that, you know, feel free to leave comments. You know, let me know how everything's going. Subscribe if you want to watch the videos and see how the prints turn out. I did do some videos, but unfortunately for me, they didn't turn out too well. When I start doing more time-lapse videos and stuff, I'm going to post everything, including the failed prints, so you can kind of see what does fail and what doesn't, what processes well and what processes bad, you know, where I screw up my G-code or I have the bed mislabeled. You know, you can't always have just a perfect print posted on everything that you do, because I've been printing non-stop since I got the printer, going on a couple of weeks now, and as you can see, I don't have very many of what I consider good quality, clean, successful prints. So, you know, you got to take your time. Hopefully every print you can get eventually will turn out to be the perfect print, but I doubt it. I do need to print that cover there just so I don't have to worry about any sharp edges snagging my wires. But like I said, everything looks great on here. Everything turned out good. One thing that I still see as an issue is when this printer comes in the mail, or when you order it or pick it up, that Z-axis will not line up with that stepper motor. No matter what you do, when you put in this guide rod, I have yet to see it. I'm a member of the Facebook page. I'll put the Facebook link down below. Everybody that's getting them, I'm seeing nothing but photos of this is failing, why is this failing, how come this is having this problem, what seems to be the issue, you know, why isn't this lining up, this doesn't line up, or when my prints get to the bottom or start out at the lower portion, right about anything up to about maybe 60 centimeters up, they're hearing binding, or they're having problems with the print leveling and the layer lines, and it's just because this would not line up. This cup link and the guide rod right here, the third guide rod, won't line up with the Z stepper motors in place without having a spacer. The spacer that worked for me was a perfect 1.5mm spacer that I found on Thingiverse. I'll link that down below, and it came out flawless. I haven't had any problems with anything. I haven't had to put a snag guide down here, you know, the anti-snag, because you don't want it to rub up and move up and down. I haven't had to print one of those out. What I did is, if you follow the cables up, you'll see right here, I've printed out this cable guide, and what it did is it set everything off, zip tied it, got it good and tight, and it moved everything over to where I didn't have to worry to print that out. And then also, I took some of this extra meshing that I had from building computers and stuff and doing cable management there, and I just went ahead and covered my power supply connection with it and zip tied everything together nice and smooth. So I got everything nice and cleaned up and put together right. So like I said, hopefully I can get some of these time-lapse videos posted. If there's something that you want to see printed out, whether it fails or whether it comes out good quality or not, let me know. And you know, feel free to add a comment below. Let me know what I can do to make things a little bit better, come out a little bit better quality. I'm trying to get this channel up and going, trying to move forward, and you know, hopefully help people have prints, or give some people something to laugh at when my shit fails. I mean, who knows? Just having fun, trying to get out there and get to know the 3D printing community a little bit better, and some of the people on YouTube a little bit better, and move forward with it. Once again, if you ever have a chance to get a good printer and you're looking for something affordable, there's quite a few people that have reviews on these. One of the most influential ones I went to was Neri's channel, and he said it best, you know, for the price, build-wise, this is one of the best quality printers you can get. You know, once you spend a few extra minutes here and there, and you really get to tune the printer, and you know the printer, you get great quality prints. I haven't had to do anything about fighting with bed leveling or nothing once I got rid of those shitty, super thin, plastic, generic-looking screws that they had. Those screws, or not screws, the springs. God damn, I suck at this. Those springs that they give you when you first purchase this one suck. You got to get these yellow springs, and I'll put a link to those. I found those on Amazon. Got them fairly quick. Of course, on Amazon it was labeled as prime, but they still came out of China. I'm still waiting for my stepper motor dampeners. I do want to kind of silence it out just a little bit more and see if that makes any bit of a difference, or what that would even do to it. But I think that would be nice touch to it. I got it running fairly quiet now, as you can hear. The loudest portion, of course, is the fan for the brain box. That's the loudest fan I got running on here right now, and that's with factoring everything. Now, one thing I will say that sucks, and this has been driving me insane for the longest. I've tried multiple filament brackets here. I've printed out probably about 3 or 4 of them. And all this does is to make sure that the filament doesn't sit here and touch that lead screw or bind up in there or anything. But if you can hear it, see that? On the retraction. See if I can get it again. No, of course not. I'm just going to go ahead and print a layer line here. Damn you. It squeaks. And it squeaks something awful. And it's only because of that overhang right there. Just the way that filament runs down here. I think I might go ahead and pull this piece off here and see if I can get rid of that squeak that way, but I doubt it. It has to do with when it starts feeding the filament through. Typically, the farther you go down on the print, or the better quality you get with the printer, and about 5-10 millimeters up, when you start doing infill and things of that nature, it starts to squeak. It starts to retract more, and it starts to get more friction on it, and it just squeaks and squeaks. And it won't do it through the whole print. Sometimes it will. So I don't, you know, on my Superman, it did it the entire print, and it drove me insane, but the print came out great. Now, one thing I did do, and I wanted to show this off, I tested my layer lines, okay? And I've seen people print out this little vase right here, large. Well, I didn't want to wait. I just wanted to kind of see how the layers and everything set. This is the Neri's vase off of Thingiverse. Single layer print all the way through. And as you can see, came out perfect. I don't know if you can see the light there on it, but I don't see any salmon skin effects or nothing. The bottom's really thin. It doesn't hold any water or anything, but this wasn't to kind of get that aspect going. This was just trying to show that I could get good, clean, smooth. I mean, you can rub your fingernail on it and see, it's just a good, smooth, quality, clean print. So, but please feel free to leave comments down below, subscribe, watch me either succeed or fail at certain prints coming up here in the future. I'm going to get everything set back up in my office to do that, and once I get it going and running, you know, I'll start putting these videos online of prints that pass or fail. I do have a print that I am going to be uploading here hopefully in a few days if it goes together right. I've been having problems with the software that I have for time lapse, but yeah, just let me know what you want to see printed out of Thingiverse, you know. Depending on the size of it, if it's a 2-day, 3-day print or anything of that nature, I might shrink it down and try to do it a smaller print to make it come out better and cleaner. But we'll see what happens. Let me know what you want to see, and I'm hoping to be able to eventually here in the future get to a point to where I can, like I said, review more printers. I do have an affiliate link. The only affiliate link I could get a hold of was for 3D Printing Online Store. I don't know. I haven't had anybody order anything yet. I've linked it in Facebook. I linked it to a couple people at work that are thinking about getting these, but nobody's really purchased using my affiliate link. So if you decide to purchase one of these, or if you're looking at getting a second one or something, and you're in the United States, they do ship local. Average shipping 4 days. You know, I got mine. It shipped. I can't remember where it shipped out of, but I had it within 4 days out here in Texas, so it was a great deal. Couldn't beat it. So, you know, once again, let me know what you guys think. Hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's 20 minutes long of me rambling, but hopefully everything comes out good and you guys like it. Like I said, like and subscribe. Don't like, don't subscribe. I'm just trying to get this channel up and running and get some good ideas. This print just finished, and like I said, it looks flawless. You guys have a good day.